long time ago, everyone knew Tom Selleck, the famous actor best known for his part in Magnum P.I. His life has taken some strange turns since he turned 80. Selleck has had to make some surprising decisions that have shocked his friends because he has been having money problems and personal problems. How does this famous actor deal with everything? Let's look more closely at Selleck's path after his ups and downs with money. Tom Selleck was born on January 29, 1945, in Detroit, Michigan. His mother ran the household and his father built homes. He had an older brother named Robert, a younger sister named Martha, and a younger brother named Daniel. Selleck's family tree was mostly English, but it also had some German roots. He came from the family of David Selleck, an English farmer who came to Massachusetts in 1633. This link shows that he is the 11th member of his family to be born in North America, showing a long family history. Tom Selleck moved to Sherman Oaks, California with his family when he was only 3 years old in 1948. His last year of school was at Grant High School in 1962. Selleck chose to live at home to save money while going to Los Angeles Valley College after high school. Selleck, who was 6 feet 4 inches tall, loved sports. After that, he went to the University of Southern California USC during his junior year and played basketball for the USC Trojans. Selleck was also very good at baseball. He pitched and hit for the USC baseball team and did well in both. He was proud to be a Trojan Knight and a Sigma Chief. A theater coach told Selleck that he should think about becoming an actor while he was studying business administration. Because of this suggestion, he quit USC before the end of his senior year and went to work at the Beverly Hills Playhouse. There, he improved his performing skills with the help of Milton Katselas. While he was in school, Selleck got a draft notice for the Vietnam War. He joined the California Army National Guard instead of waiting to be called up. He was in Company C, 1st Battalion 160th Infantry, from 1967 to 1973, and worked his way up to sergeant. Being in the National Guard was an important part of his life and showed how much he cared about his country. Tom Selleck's early life and events had a big impact on him and made him the focused, determined, and grounded person he is today. Growing up in Michigan, going to college in California, and serving in the National Guard were all parts of his trip that taught him values that he carried with him throughout his successful career. How did Selleck get so rich, though? What problems did he run into along the way? In 1965, Tom Selleck started his rise to fame with a short visit on the dating game. This humble beginning sparked his desire to be famous. In 1967, he came back to the show, which made room for better possibilities. Not long after that, he started appearing in ads, like ones for Pepsi-Cola, which made him famous in the entertainment world. Selleck's early acting jobs were in small parts in movies like Myra Breenage, Coma, and The 7 Minutes. Even though they weren't lead roles, these parts gave him important experience in the movie business. Advertisers quickly became interested in him because of his natural charm and good looks. He went on to become the face of brands like Salem Cigarettes, Revlon's Chaz Cologne, and Right Guard deodorant. In 1972, he was even in an ad for Dubonnet with Farrah Fawcett. These ads helped him become more well-known before he fully committed to his playing career. Because Tom Selleck loved farms and nature, he quickly found work as a cowboy in Western movies. In the 1979 movie The Sacketts, he played Orrin Sackett, a lawman from the frontier. This was his first major part. His status as a main actor rose when he worked with Sam Elliott and other Western legends. He also played with Jerry Reed in the 1979 movie Concrete Cowboys. Western movies became a big part of his work after he gave great performances in Shadow Riders 1982 and Last Stand at Sabre River 1997. The second one earned him a Western Heritage Award, which is a high honor. Because he played Thomas Magnum on the TV show Magnum P.I. starting in 1980, Selleck became famous. Before this, he tried out for 6 shows that were never picked up. Selleck's dream came true when he played Magnum, a Navy SEAL who turns into a private detective. This part made him famous all over the world, and he became famous for playing Magnum. At the start of Magnum P.I., Tom Selleck had to make a choice. He had the chance to play Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark, but he had to say no because he had to give his attention to Magnum. He could have had a very different job path if he had made this choice. He never felt bad about it, though. Selleck said that he had promised Magnum and was happy with his decision. He didn't want to give up his morals or family values for fame because he thought it was the right thing to do. Tom Selleck's playing career was built around his role as the charming and smart detective Magnum. Magnum was known for having a mustache, wearing Hawaiian clothes, and driving a red Ferrari. From 1980 to 1988, the TV show ran for 8 seasons and a total of 163 episodes. It stayed famous for many years by showing old episodes again and again. During the time of Magnum, Tom Selleck was also in a number of other movies. He was in the 1987 movie 3 Men and a Baby, which did very well at the box office. In the 1984 movie Runaway, he played a police officer who is afraid of heights and in the 1989 movie Her Alibi, he played a surrogate father. These parts showed how versatile he was as an actress. Politicians were interested in Selleck because he was well known from TV and movies. Because of this, he was picked to introduce Nancy Reagan at the 1984 Republican National Convention, which made him look better in the eyes of the public. In the 1990s, Selleck was offered the lead part in Baywatch but turned it down because he didn't want to be known only for how he looked. David Hasselhoff got the part in the end. Even so, Selleck's career kept going strong thanks to his skill, versatility, and image as a dedicated and easy-to-talk-to actor. A life outside of fame for Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck was married to model Jacqueline Ray from 1971 to 1982. During this time, he took in her 1966-born son Kevin Shepard as his own. Kevin became the drummer for the American rock band Tonic, and he and Selleck became very close. After his first marriage ended, Selleck met Jill Joan Mack in Britain. On August 7, 1987, they got married. Hannah was their daughter. She was born on December 16, 1988. For example, Episcopalian actor Tom Selleck talked about how his co-star Bridget Mohan taught him the right way to make the sign of the cross. He had to learn these things in order to play the Catholic character Frank Reagan on the TV show Blue Bloods. His faith in working with other actors have shaped how he plays his parts, combining his own faith with the personalities he plays on screen. The Selleck family now lives in Thousand Oaks, Westlake Village, California. They built an avocado ranch on 60 acres in Hidden Valley. Dean Martin used to own this farm, which is now an important part of Selleck's life. In an interview in 2012, Selleck talked about how much he loved being outside and how involved he was in ranch activities. He said that he would rather work on his ranch fixing roads and clearing brush than go to the gym. For Selleck, working out outside is much more satisfying than riding a fixed bike over and over again. He made fun of the fact that hiring him for these jobs would save money, which showed how down-to-earth he was. Even though Selleck was very dedicated to his job, his personal decisions showed that he didn't like modern technology. He admitted that he didn't answer texts or emails because he wanted to keep things simple and cut down on digital distractions. He loved sports, especially volleyball and ice hockey, and this laid-back way of life fit with that. Selleck loved playing volleyball indoors and on the beach. He was especially good as an outside hitter for the Honolulu Outrigger Canoe Club. There was also his son Kevin on the team. Kevin went on to play volleyball at USC and was named an All-American in 1990. Dennis Berg and other teammates said he was a great worker who enjoyed being part of a bright group. Even though Selleck was busy shooting Magnum PI, he gave his all at practices and loved his family and volleyball team very much. His friends looked up to him because he was dedicated to his interests and the people he loved. Both volleyball and ice hockey were very important to Selleck. He went to a lot of Los Angeles Kings games to support players like Ants Kopitar and Alexander Frolov. He was also a huge baseball fan, especially of the Detroit Tigers. He loved the team so much that he owned a piece of it. In 1986, Selleck hit a home run during batting practice with the Tigers. This showed how much he loved baseball. Selleck worked with the team during spring training in 1991 to get ready for his part in Mr. Baseball. He worked hard and it paid off when he got to play in a practice game against the Cincinnati Reds. Even though he struck out after a few foul balls, Selleck thought that his time with the Tigers helped him learn more about baseball and gave him useful insights into himself. Throughout his career, Selleck's co-worker praised him for being hard-working and kind. The actor Larry Manetti, who worked with Selleck in Magnum, praised his hard work. Manetti admired Selleck's dedication to the show, especially when shooting was hard to do in the sweltering heat of Hawaii. Selleck also gave money to Hawaiian causes, which showed how kind and generous he was. When he wasn't working, Selleck still cared about his cast and crew and made sure that everyone was okay. In 2009, Tom Selleck did more than just act to support veterans. He also helped raise money for the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. He helped get the word out about a new education center being built in Washington, D.C. His work with veterans shows that he cares deeply about those who served our country, which gives his public image more depth. Selleck also felt terrible when good friends died, like when James Garner did in 2014. He talked a lot about Garner and remembered how he helped and led him. A couple of years after Garner's death, Selleck said that he didn't really see Garner as a guide, but that they had a strong relationship. He admitted that it felt good to be influenced by Garner, even though it put pressure on him to live up to those standards. It's clear that their friendship changed Selleck in ways that lasted, both in his personal life and in his work life. Everyone knows that Tom Selleck is a dedicated family man, both at home and at work. Besides that, he loves sports and works hard for issues that matter to him. He has gone from being a famous actor to a respected part of many communities, which shows that he is more than just his famous roles. Selleck has built a life around small pleasures and important relationships. Whether it's through his love of sports, his work on the ranch, or his great love for his family, a lot of people think Selleck's money only comes from acting, but that's not true. He has an interesting new way to make money. The surprising turn in the famous career of Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck's work history is very varied and full of new adventures. He became well known for his part as a private detective in Magnum P.I. On Blue Bloods, he plays a police commissioner. Selleck's time in Hollywood has been full of shocks and shifts. While he has had many wins, he has also had many problems and made some strange choices. Tom Selleck played the lead role in the 1990 Australian Western movie Quigley Down Under. He thinks it's one of his best parts. Even though the movie wasn't a big hit, Selleck was able to show off his acting skills in a role that wasn't one of his famous detective roles. In the 1990s, Tom Selleck grew his acting career by appearing in many movies, such as Mr. Baseball, Christopher Columbus, Three Men and a Little Lady, and The Discovery. His part as a character in In and Out was a big change in the way he acts, giving him the chance to try out different roles. When Selleck came back to TV as Richard Burke on Friends, he became famous again. Both critics and fans liked how he played Monica Geller's older boyfriend. His work got him nominated for an Emmy, even though it got mixed reviews. This shows how talented he is in both movies and TV shows. Besides that, he was in the TNT movie Crossfire Trail 2001 and the movie Monty Walsh 2003. These roles, along with his part as General Dwight D. Eisenhower in Ike Countdown to D-Day, showed that Selleck was still a good actor on screen. There was a big comeback for Selleck on TV in the 2000s. A lot of people liked the TV movies he was in that were based on Robert B. Parker's books and starred Jesse Stone. Through 9 movies, the series finally grew, with Selleck acting in and producing all of them. He became well known in the 2010s for his part as Frank Reagan on the TV show Blue Bloods. In that role, he plays the police commissioner of New York City. People liked how he played a tough family-oriented character, and Blue Bloods, which started on CBS in 2010, became a long-running show that kept Selleck in the public eye for more than a decade. As the show's last season starts in 2024, Frank Reagan has become a fan favorite. This marks the end of Selleck's long and successful career on TV. Selleck's long-term success in Hollywood is shown by the fact that his net worth is projected to be $25 million as of 2025. Even though he is famous, he wants to live a simple life near nature and focus on his own happiness. It was 1988, and Tom Selleck was at the height of his fame from Magnum P.I. He bought a big ranch in Ventura County, California. This land was more than just a house when Dean Martin owned it. It was a quiet place to go. The ranch has a house in the Spanish colonial style, barns, a heliport, a tennis court, a swimming pool, and avocado trees. Selleck is committed to taking care of his land and finds comfort in doing so. Selleck also has a strong bond with Hawaii. He stayed in a simple house on the island of Oahu while shooting Magnum P.I. and liked how laid-back life was there. He loves the memories even though he doesn't own land there anymore. Selleck is rich not only because he acts well, but also because he makes smart investments. He is mostly interested in real estate because he values security over luxury. He tries to keep his personal life easy, which is different from many famous people. Being honest, working hard and looking for peace away from the spotlight are some of the values that guide his decisions. There are rumors that he may be having money problems, even though he has a lot of money saved up over the years. There are many rumors about why he keeps working hard instead of retiring, especially since he is so successful. One reason could be that he is determined to live a certain way. His 63-acre ranch in Ventura County, California, is the center of his life. He bought it in the 1980s when he was famous for Magnum P.I. as a getaway from Hollywood. The ranch, with its rough hills and avocado trees, stands for his need for peace and quiet. On the other hand, these features come with big financial obligations, as they need a lot of money to keep the house useful and habitable during extreme weather. Some people might think that Selleck's wealth would allow him to retire easily, but he has made it clear that he is worried about that possibility. In an interview with CBS Sunday Morning, he talked about his fears about having to sell his ranch if he couldn't find new acting jobs. Selleck thought about his past and realized that he used to be a bit spoiled and lacked perspective, even though he had a lot of good luck. This sentence brings out the difference between how he acts in public and how he acts in private. His careful attitude to fame and money has caused him to fall. He could have made even more money with a few more well-paid jobs. Harrison Ford famously turned down the part of Indiana Jones, which went on to become popular and was a big break for him. He was also up for the part of Han Solo in Star Wars. These choices, even though they were based on personal views, most likely cost money. In 2015, Selleck was sued for using water from a public fountain in a different area on his ranch. People were curious about why someone with so much money and power would go to such lengths to get water. Even though the case was finally settled for $21,000, was he trying desperately to save his farms, or did it mean he had bigger money problems? It's clear that Selleck has nothing to say about these issues. He doesn't talk much about reports, doesn't show off his money, and stays out of the spotlight. He doesn't brag like some famous people did and then lost all their money or went bankrupt. Sellich's problems are not as obvious. He still has to work, lives in a pricey area, doesn't seem sure if he wants to retire, and is in a court battle over water use. Based on these signs, Selleck may not be as financially stable as he seems, but it's not yet time to say that he's going to lose everything. There is no solid proof that he doesn't have any money, or isn't managing his money well. Still, the man who played calm and sure of himself seems to be going through his own problems behind the scenes. People may not be interested in his money, but his fans will always respect how well he handles all of these changes. As the last episode of Blue Bloods airs, one important question still stands. What does the man who used to have everything now have trouble keeping? His peace of mind. Time will tell if Tom Selleck's money problems will be solved without him having to make adjustments or if they will get worse. What is Tom Selleck's life like right now, and what does he want to do in the future? Tom Selleck, who is known for his parts in Magnum P.I. and Blue Bloods, has always liked keeping things simple and private. More than once over the years, he has said that he wants to keep his personal life private and put work and family time first. He has a lot of loyal fans who love how real and down-to-earth he is because of this choice. Selleck has reached a big point in his career, but he doesn't seem to be planning to slow down anytime soon. He wants to go back to Western movies, which have worked well for him in the past. Taylor Sheridan, the mind behind Yellowstone, and Selleck both want to work together because they share similar values and interests. Fans and other actors are still inspired by how hard he works and how willing he is to take on new tasks. Selleck strikes a good mix between his personal and professional duties as he starts a new part of his life. He still lives on his 63-acre ranch in Ventura County, California, and loves taking care of the land and spending time with his family there.